So you probably want to make your first $1,000 online, get a consistent income, not rely on some 9 to 5 job, and do the stuff you actually enjoy doing and never get tired of. And let me guess, you've already watched all the Iman Gaji, Jordan Welch, Luke Belmore, and Andrew G. Tate videos, and even all the TikToks about the discipline and the motivation. Well, in today's video, I'm going to share 5 personal tips about making money online that actually allowed me to achieve the income of 15 to 20K per month at the age of 21 on my own, while speaking English as my third language and being just a kid from a third world country. And just so you know, these tips will be in conflict with a lot of what people these days tell you online about making money, so stick around till the end. Plus, I am not scaring you with the, oh, you've already missed your chance, or it's already too late, but wait, you can just join my 7-day online digital puppet master sovereignty event and you will get the answers you're looking for. And honestly, I'm just gonna share some valuable stuff that cost me a lot of time and a lot of money wasted in hopes that the same doesn't happen to you. So listen, the first step is, if you want to start making money online, set realistic expectations. These days, people tell you that you can start making 10K per month as a beginner after 2 months of working on your business. And how do I put it? It's bullshit.
Here it is.
What is this bullshit?
And if we think about it, why do you expect to have the income of a doctor or a lawyer that actually spent 10 to 15 years studying for their craft in just 2 months with no prior experience? To me, that's completely ridiculous. And instead of setting the objectively unrealistic goals such as, oh, I'll make 20K by the end of the summer, or I'll make 10K in the next month, instead focus on taking the small steps. Because if you do it the other way around, you'll quickly get discouraged and you'll feel the urge of switching business models, doing something different, and you will eventually quit. Actually, there is quite a funny story on how I came to this realization. Is when I first started my online business 2 years ago, I set a goal: I will make 10K per month in the next 3 months, which is quite an ambitious goal, and obviously it's something to strive for. But what I didn't take into account is A, I had no skills, like literally. B, I had no prior experience, and C, I didn't even know how to speak English. And then I got crushed pretty quickly when in the first 3 months of running my online business, which really was just me doing freelance, I think I made $200. And now looking back, I mean, it's still an achievement. Like, it's still progress. It's better to have some progress than to have no progress. But because I've set such an unrealistic goal, this didn't feel like an accomplishment at all. What happened is I got pretty discouraged and I almost quit at this point. If you are serious about making money online, do not try to push yourself to the limits of making 100K per month, 10K per month, and even 5K per month. Focus on getting your first client. Focus on making your first dollar. Like, what would you think about making 10K if you haven't made the first one? Just focus on something small and make incremental progress that you can later track and improve over time. Okay, once I changed that, and instead of focus on making 10K per month, I literally focus on getting my first client and then getting my next client and my next client. And this is where the things actually started to pick up for me. But of course, there were a lot of challenges. And another thing I realized pretty quickly is nobody actually wanted to work with me. Like, nobody actually wanted my service and the product that I offer. And so then it hit me. I realized that I need to focus on getting better, aka on acquiring the right skills. And here's the part that most people and most beginners especially get completely backward is, what do you invest your money into? Instead of me taking $1,000 and investing it into Bitcoin so that I can make an extra $100 over the span of the next 6 months, or for example investing in stocks or in bonds with my 1,000, which will probably get me like a $10 income. So basically, rather than investing in assets, in crypto, in currencies, etc., I started to invest into getting skills that could then teach me how to have a significant income that I later can invest in something like crypto, I don't know, Bitcoin, stocks, bonds, etc. When it comes to the amount of money you make with your business or even with your 9 to 5, it is usually directly proportional to the level of skills that you have. And so to me personally, it was just the lowest hanging fruit to, instead of investing in like watches, crypto, cars, etc., to invest into knowledge, to make sure that instead of me making $2,000 per month and, trying to save some money and invest in crypto, it will be to invest this $2,000 per month so that then I can start making 10 or 20K per month, which is just, exactly what I did. And it helped me to maximize my investments and actually now get the skills where even if my business fails, guys, The worst case scenario is I'll find a 6-figure job. So shortly, things started to improve. I invested into quite a big coaching program. They taught me how to sell, how to market, how to get clients, etc. So I started making some money, 5 to 10K per month. And my goal was to start making 50K per month as soon as possible. But then I stumbled upon the third problem. And this problem was I got so overwhelmed with the amount of opportunities out there. Like seriously, I was doing my agency, but then I was getting people reach out to me. Oh, why don't we do this together? Oh, why don't we start this, I don't know, e-commerce business? Or why don't we start a second agency and scale horizontally? And pretty quickly I realized that instead of focusing on one thing that's already proven to work and to make me money, I started to get distracted. And instead of focusing on one big thing that actually moves the needle, I started to focus on 5 different ones, and it was just a disaster. And instead of actually focusing on the game, like actually focusing on the sport of growing my company and getting better at it, I started to focus on some irrelevant things that were just, in reality, they were just shiny objects. And so this problem actually cost me a lot of money and a lot of time wasted until I had a really hard conversation with myself and realized that, okay, I'm actually not going in the direction I want to go. And I had to cut off everything except of the main thing, my main business that I was working on at the time. And this way I got back on track and actually started to see some progress again. And so the biggest takeaway from this one will be we as human beings have a very finite amount of focus. And so be very responsible about where you put this focus in. It is way better to put 10 units of progress into one direction rather than to have 1 unit of progress in 10 different directions. So I kept focusing on the right thing and it even seemed like I was doing some progress, but here's the issue. I actually wasn't working enough.
I don't want to work. I just want to bang on this mug all day.
And when I'm talking about that, I don't mean the actual human hours. Like that wasn't the problem. I was working for 10, 12, 13, 14 hours per day sometimes. But I'm talking about the actual activity that matters, like the activity that drives the needle forward. For example, if you're doing an agency, that probably will be the amount of outreach you send. And so for me, the number of the outreach was pretty low. Like I could easily 10x that, but instead I was focused on the stuff that was pretty irrelevant in the business, but just seemed like was getting me closer to the real goal, which in reality it wasn't. And so as soon as I did the breakdown of like what actually matters for me to grow the business, it really turned out to be just 2 things. Because I was, and I still am, running the agency. For me, it was the amount of messages that I sent per day to my potential customers. That was the first thing. And the second is the amount of sales calls that I book and attend per day. And so what I realized is instead of me doing all these different things, it's a better idea to actually focus on those 2 things, but make sure I actually do as many of the activity as possible. And so what I did is instead of sending, I don't know, 100 messages per day, I found a way to start sending literally thousands of emails per day. At one point I was sending 4,000 emails per day and I was doing $200, $1 to $200 to my potential customers. And as soon as I did that, literally in the matter of 4 weeks, I went from making 3K per month to making 15K per month at the age of 20. It was a year and a half ago. And so all that taught me a very valuable lesson, which is volume negates luck. Even if you suck at the thing badly, if you just do enough reps, you will improve and you will see the improvement in the results. Now, obviously the skills part matters as well, but nonetheless, volume definitely negates luck. And to be honest, without the next tip, making 10, 50, 100K per month, $1 million a month will be pretty much, in my opinion, impossible. Is you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now, it might sound pretty confusing to you, but let me break it down. If you want to have a significant income and actually make the change in your life and lives of your family, etc., don't expect to be a pleasant journey. But bro, 90+% of time is just either doing the boring work, like literally boring stuff, like just sitting in front of the computer, just doing the boring work, and actually facing the pain, like being in the state of discomfort, being in the state of stress, hearing no all day, every day. Like don't expect for it to be a breeze. It's going to be hard. It's going to take a lot of sweat, tears, and human hours of just doing the activity, getting rejected, facing the dark side of yourself. By having this in mind, I'm not trying to discourage you, but I'm just trying to set you for success on this journey. Because what happens, and there is a quote for that, is optimists die first. So people, when they wait for the rescue in the next 1 to 3 days, they get so discouraged so badly that they actually stop fighting, and that's not something I wish for yourself. And look guys, obviously these 5 tips will not make you rich overnight. That's absolutely impossible. But that being said, I truly believe that they will save you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of stress, and help you actually get onto this entrepreneurship journey with the right mindset and the right expectations. Just remember, it is about the journey and not about the destination, as cliche as it sounds. So I hope it was helpful. And look guys, if you want to learn how I personally make money and how I was able to achieve the income of 15 to 20K per month at the age of 21, you can go down to the description and you will find my free school community that you can join. It's pretty cool out there, and basically I share the knowledge of what I actually do for a living and how you can possibly do the same. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.